personal life in depth, in detail. Open up.
I'm gonna test this out. Keep in mind that I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my shit.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Chariti Sinae and I am back with another video. And today I am talking about something very, very specific. A lot of people know, a lot of you probably don't know, honestly, because I'm not very open on my channel, to keep it a bug. Not very open, and that is on purpose. I'm a very private person. I don't really like to share a lot, you know, in detail. Anyway, I don't like to really go in detail about myself, but it's something that I want to work on this year. Still not being open completely, but at least opening up more about my experiences. Just a few. I feel like what better way to kick it off is just by sharing my coming out story. I'm bisexual. I've been bisexual for years. Like years and years and years. It's something that's not changing. It's who I am. I am a bisexual black woman in America. And with that being said, happy Black History Month to all of my black people. Those who paved the way, honey. But yeah, so I do want to go ahead and share my coming out story with you all and open up about that. And I can't believe I'm actually doing this. I do not share a lot about myself at all, and it's something that I've noticed and that I've realized. So we're gonna start here with it. But with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and just let's get into it, babe. Let's get into it. Okay, hi. So I already did my foundation off of camera. If you want to know what foundation I use Makeup by Mario. Let me grab it. So I use these two together. So I went in with my e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter Glow Booster. This is not a foundation. This is something you can use either combined with the foundation, or you could use it before you put a foundation on. But it is just to add radiance to the skin, help you achieve like the glowiness I already have going. However, I did go in with my Makeup by Mario foundation on top, and this is 21W. So 21 Warm is the shade that I have on. So I combined these. And now this Makeup by Mario is has a radiant finish all on its own. So if you're not into the whole glowy radiant look, I wouldn't suggest using them together, you know, for sure, you know. And I reviewed that foundation on my shorts. So if you want to see that video, just go to my shorts section and then click on that video. And you know, shorts are only 60 seconds, so didn't take up too much time. But let's get into this coming out story. Okay, so straight into it, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have the chance to come out for real. Like, I was more so outed. And to this day, I still think she did it on purpose. Like, I really, really do think she outed me on purpose, because she was already out. And she didn't like the fact that I wasn't, because she was used to being able to do her thing. And I don't blame her. Not like, looking back on it, I don't blame her. She was used to being able to just be free with it, where with me, she had to sneak around. She had to be hiding it, you know? So I don't blame her looking back on it. But even if she did do it on purpose, it didn't work out in anyone's favor, not even hers. It literally created a disaster. It was a shit show. So, but yeah, so I discovered my attraction for females when I was in the 8th grade. I was what, 13, 14? I grew up in a very religious household. I had to go to church on every single Sunday, every single Thursday. Had to be at church. Couldn't miss a day at all, ever. We were the first ones there and the last ones to leave. Like, could not miss a day. Ugh, like, very ill. My initial thoughts when I first discovered that, of course, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't want anyone to know at all, ever. I honestly had a female try to be with me in the 8th grade, and I rejected her at first because I'm like, no ma'am, like I'm not like that. Yes you are, and is the entire time. But eventually I gave in to that female, and we did our thing on the low for quite some time. So my entire 8th grade year I got away with it, because she was on the low as well. So us being on the low together, we just knew like we gonna have to move discreet. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't no public with it. We got to be as discreet as possible with this. And that's just what it was. So it wasn't until I got to 9th grade and me and that female broke it off. And then I had got with another female. This is the female who was out. So being in high school, when I got to 9th grade, my sister was a senior. So she was in high school with me, but she wasn't in the part that I was at. So where I'm from, there's a freshman building, and then there is the building where 10th through 12th graders are. But I still had to move very discreet, because where I'm from is a small town. Everybody really know everybody, and it's just so annoying. Well, back when I was there, I haven't been like there in like a few years, if I'm being honest. I have not been back in a few years. Ever since I moved away, I don't go back often, honestly. So I need something for these brows, babe. Hold on. So I still had to be discreet because people knew my sister. And so people literally being there, people knew my mama, everybody knew my daddy, and then a whole lot of people knew my sister. So it just kind of felt like I had eyes and ears on me all the time, because people like to run their mouth too. Like it was just annoying. So I really had to move very discreet. And one day my sister, she asked me because a lot of people kept coming up to her and telling her that they would see me walking with this one female. They would see me holding hands with this one female. Now, the only thing about me is I've always been a very free spirit. Okay, one thing about me, I'm gonna do what I want to do if I want to do it, because I just don't believe in not being myself. Like I want to be who I am, you know, and that's what really made me get caught up, because even though I knew I had to move very discreet, it was still like everybody can kind of go to hell type of vibe, because I loved being that way because it's who I am. People would tell my sister like, I saw your nails and hands, da 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 da, and I'm like, shit. She had, you know, tried to talk to me about it one day, and I'm like, no, I'm not like that. I don't know what's going on. Like, y'all ain't never seen two females just holding hands. Like, that's how I was about it. Like, I'm like, no, deny, honey. I don't know what they're talking about. And it's not because I felt like my sister would judge me for it. I knew she wouldn't, honestly. How are my brows looking though in real life? I just think at that time, saying it out loud to her, I think it would have kind of settled in for me, like what I was really doing. Like, I just think it would have made it more real for me. And I don't think I was just ready for that. I feel like it would have officially opened up the door to, oh, now my sister knows. And then the next step, my parents need to know. And I knew, you know, my sister, she my ride or die. That's my best friend. So she definitely would have kept it a secret, kept it to herself, and she wouldn't have told on me at all. But like I said, I just think I wasn't ready. And even though I knew she wouldn't have judged me, I think it's because, you know, I was already judging myself for it because of how I grew up. Like, you know, when you growing up, I grew up in a Christian household, you know, you're automatically taught that it's looked down upon. Like, you are not supposed to be that way. It's, you know, people, Christians nowadays, or Christians have always made it seem like it's the worst sin of all, when there's no sin greater than the other, for one. But it just felt like you were automatically shunned to hell. Like, you were just the bottom of the barrel. Like, that's how Christians kind of make you feel. And I don't know, because I was already dealing with that on my own, I really hadn't fully accepted myself for it yet. And so I didn't really want to tell anybody else. You know, I could tell, you know, my friends, of course, because, child, yeah, I could tell them, and everybody knew, my friends knew who I was dealing with and all of that. But other than that, my family didn't. It was something that I was honestly dealing with alone, because anybody who was like that was honestly kind of open with it. And then the girlies who were hiding it like me, we weren't really friends. Like, I didn't really talk to them like that. Like, my freshman year was honestly full of drama. Oh my God. And that's the story time for a later day. I really didn't have no real friends in high school, honestly. Not at that time, not my freshman year. But yeah, so it was honestly a struggle for me dealing with it on my own, because I didn't really have anybody to really talk to like that about it. And because I was having such a hard time accepting myself, I definitely didn't want to let anybody else know. Like, for me, it was just like, when I was growing up, it was just looked at as disgusting, or, oh, it's a spirit, or you fighting demons type of thing. So I was trying to process my own feelings, trying to low-key process them while also wanting all of them to go away, because I'm like trying to figure out why I felt that way about females, honestly, because that's what you go through when you're taught that it's wrong. Because it's just like, if it's so wrong, why am I feeling this way? And that's why people say, oh, it's a demon, oh, it's a spirit. It's not a demon, it's not a spirit, by the way. And so I was dealing with that on my own, trying to process it while trying to hide it, while trying to get over it, all at the same time. One day, you know, I'm with the female that I'm dating at the time, and we do not have time to be out of focus. We definitely do not have time to be out of focus. I felt like Cranes in the Sky by Beyonce. Tried to drink it away. No, I'm kidding. Definitely wasn't old enough to drink, but did I say Beyonce? How dare I? Solange, I am so sorry. I'm sorry. You won't ever see this video, but I just want you to know I'm so freaking sorry. And we're gonna redo that whole moment. I'm gonna keep that last moment in because I have integrity, but we're gonna redo it. Take two. You know, I felt like Cranes in the Sky by Solange. I had to drink it away. You know, I was doing my best to get over it, even after my parents found out. Like, I'm like, it took me a few years to really be happy with it, because it took me a few years to realize that you don't go to hell for your sexuality, honestly. Like, honestly, no one in life, no one in the world can tell you you're going to hell for something. No one can tell you that, because no one knows. No one really knows. Okay? No one can tell you that you're going to hell. And that was my only problem back then, because, honey, I didn't want to perish. I didn't want to perish in the pits. I didn't want to burn for all eternity. I didn't want to do that. So yeah, it was the only thing on my mind. The female that I was dating, we were out at the bus port. So school had ended, and where I'm from, you know, all the cool kids go to the bus port. Like, if you're in the car riders line, babe. And I was indeed a car rider. So what you do as a car rider is you go to the bus port first. You walk through the bus port and then you go to the car rider line. Like, that's how it went when I was in high school. I don't know what the girlies do now. Okay, I'm old. I'm not old. I just... Okay. So I just realized it's about to be 10 years since I've graduated. However, let's just keep moving before I cry. So we're at the bus port, and I think my 2 cousins were out there. I don't know. I forgot who. Somebody had a camera out. I don't know who had the camera. Somebody had a camera, and the female I was with wanted to take a picture because she just wanted to, I guess. I don't know. And so we took a picture. It was honestly a very harmless picture. It wasn't really anything that gave it away that we were together. So we take a picture and we're like hugging, but my body was still kind of twisted to the side a little bit. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm hugging you, but I'm also trying to be cute vibes, you know? Y'all know this under I got to get done right, so hold on. Okay, there we go. We take the picture, and that's just that. Everything good, going about our day as normal. So the problem didn't start until I got home. I'm home, and me, my mom, and my sister, like, we would always watch shows on the couch. Like, we had our favorite shows that we would record, and then we would have our nights where we would watch them, and then me and my sister would go to bed, of course. So this night we all out on the couch in the living room watching our shows, and all of a sudden, you know, my mama called my name. She's like, Charity. You know, there's just a certain type of way a black mom calls your name where you know you're kind of like in for it, like something done went down. I'm like, oh my God, what? So look over and she's like, what is this? She holds the phone up, and it's me and the girl that I'm dating. Now, mind you, like I said, it's not the picture that gave it away. It's not. The picture did not give it away, y'all. What gave it away was her caption. She posted a picture of us on Facebook. You know, on Facebook, anybody that you're friends with can see what you're tagged in. I don't know if it's still that way because I don't use Facebook. My mom was able to see that photo because the girl tagged me in it with this stupid, I guess, romantic caption. And I'm like, I read that caption because my mom was like, what is this? And I read it, and I'm sitting there like, this stupid idiot. Like, so dumb. But my initial reaction was, I don't know. Like, I straight up said that. I'm like, I don't know. She says, you don't know? I said, I don't know. Like, I did not. I literally kid you not. I was going to ride it till the wheels fell off about that one, baby, because I was not going to sit there and admit that night, especially with all that tension that immediately hit the room because of it. Like, I'm sitting, so I said, I don't know. She said, you don't know? I said, I don't know. And so she read the caption out loud, and she's like, you don't know what that means? I said, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what she's saying, sweet pea. I don't know what you want from me. I keep having to say, I don't know. Like, I don't know what you're saying. And she's like, I think she says a typical black mama thing. Where she was like, I'm sitting here asking you what that means, and if I have to find out that it means something different later on, it's going to be a whole lot worse. And do you want to know what I said? I don't know what you want from me, love. Like, I literally, it was a still, I don't know. That didn't change a thing. It just went from I don't know to I don't know with a head nod, because I didn't know. I went to my room, and that's the part I don't remember. I don't remember if she sent me to my room or if it was just time for me to go to bed, because I did have a bad time. So I don't remember that part, but I went to my room and I'm in bed freaking out. Like, I'm freaking out in my bed. Now this lady comes, here she goes, she comes in my room, cut the light on, and I'm like, oh my God, like, what is it? And so she's like, do you have something you want to tell me? I said, no. The heck? I said, no ma'am. And she's like, basically asking me the same question. Do you have something you want to tell me? I'm like, no, I do not. Like, no, I have nothing I want to tell you tonight. Like, at all. Deny, honey. Who is in the mood for that? Like, and that's my thing. Like, when you coming out, it has to be this whole drawn out thing. Oh my gosh. Like, if anything, I'm not in the mood for it. Like, literally. She basically, and this is when, like, my nerves start getting riled up. And when I say riled up, I'm saying in a very, like, extra nervous way, because I knew that when she came back in my room, it was kind of over after that, because my mom is very persistent. Like, for one, I knew she knew, and I really wish that she just kind of would have took it and left it alone until we could maybe revisit it in a calmer, softer way. However, of course that couldn't happen. Like, that was only in a perfect world. She said Charity. She said my name, and I think she said it again. Like, I'm gonna ask you one more time, and if I end up finding out somewhere else, it's going to be a problem. And out of pure fear, I admitted it, and I just shook my head. I didn't say anything. I only shook my head. And I think she asked me if I was involved with her to confirm it, because I wasn't saying nothing. I started crying, for one. I started boo-hoo crying, and I shook my head. And after that, my mom started crying as well. I'm like, girl, why are you crying? But she started crying, and then she told me that I was breaking her heart. And then once she told me that, that's what really sent me overboard. Like, it made me break down, because obviously as a child, you don't want to hear your mom say, like, oh, you're breaking my heart. And so she just shut the door, and that was that, as far as I could remember, because it was late. Like, she didn't play by that bedtime neither. So I cried, and I just kind of felt like my life was over. Like, I really was just mentally done. And now I cannot, honestly, I can't tell y'all what happened the next day, because I don't remember. Should I have zoomed in? I always do this. There we go. I'm so sorry. I never zoom in anymore. But yeah. So I think it was the next day I went to school. I had told my cousin, I told the girl I was dating everything that happened, because honestly, like, I need you to know you ruined my life. Like, you did. You ruined my life at that time. Like, because why would you do that? Who does that? because she knew who my parents were. Everybody, like I said, everybody knew who my parents were. And so to do that, you just, like, you messed this up for me and you. How do you feel? Like, it was like that for me. How do you feel? Because it's not like I'm going to be able to do nothing, because that's exactly what it was. I couldn't do anything. I got my phone taken away. I couldn't do any extracurricular activities. Like, I couldn't do anything with my life. My life was school and home and church. And I was just so hurt after that, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm gonna miss out on everything. Like, I really couldn't do nothing. My mom, as soon as I think I would get, as soon as she would pick me up, she would take my phone. Yeah. I couldn't use it to communicate. And what's funny is, I saw this tweet not too long ago where this boy had tweeted, why the first thing parents want to do when they find out you gay is take your phone. And then he had said, like, still gay. I'm like, exactly. I don't know what that means. I think because it just gives them some sort of control. I don't know. And for one, it just means to them that, oh, you're not communicating with that person, whoever they think got you like that. Because I think that's what parents do when they take your phone. The ones who are into that, I think that they feel like it's just that one person that's having influence over you. I don't know. She definitely took my phone, and the only time I could have it was when she had to go to work, and if I wasn't with, like, my daddy or something. Like, I could only have it on occasions where she would need to get in contact with me. That's really how she found out. And like I said, my life was over, and it hurt me as a child, because as a child, obviously, if you are dealing with it the same way that I am, you know, with the whole strict parents and the rules and the religion and all of that, it's hard for any child to process all of that. Because like I said, I didn't want to be that way back then. I didn't at all. I did not understand why I was that way. I was trying to keep it a secret. And so at that time, it went from not trying to keep it a secret to not understanding why I was that way, not wanting to be, not accepting myself. And then on top of that, obviously I didn't have parents there to support me. Because the next night, my mom called my dad over to the house, and she told him, she explained it to him. And then they called me in the room. You know how parents got to talk first, then call you in after. And so that was my situation. So my dad called me in the room, and he's like, you know, I'll always love you. Both of them had the same thing to say, that they would love me no matter what. They just didn't support it at all whatsoever. And so anything that meant that I could possibly have any sort of access to it, I guess, they took it away, which is why I couldn't have the phone, which is why I couldn't do anything extra after school, which is why I had to go to school and come straight home. I couldn't communicate with anybody I was involved with. I couldn't communicate with the girl. I couldn't communicate with any of my friends at all, because they didn't support it. And so that was just a very hard time for me, because for one, I didn't really have anybody who could relate to me, you know, who could help me. And not even just relate to me or help me, but just somebody my age who could just be there for me while I was going through all of that. And so I just felt very alone for that period in my life. I felt very alone because I didn't understand myself. I didn't understand anything that I was going through. And I didn't have the support of my parents, because, you know, like I said, the only thing they tell you back then is it's a demon, it's a spirit, and they gonna pray for you. And I'm like, thanks. Like, that fucking helps. Like what? Like, that right there is crazy to me, how Christians will do that. Like, let me make you feel like the worst person on earth while I pray for you. Like, what the fuck? Like, that shit is so crazy. So yeah, and then so the talk started coming, you know, when it comes to how to move forward. So being that my mom, she was going to church in Jacksonville, right? And this is where they swear this part ain't have nothing to do with me, but it did. So my mom was going to church in Jacksonville, Florida, and where I'm from, Camden County, is like 30 minutes down the street from Jacksonville, Florida. So it wasn't nothing to get on the road and go there. So, but because she was tired of doing that, because she was not only going to church there, but she worked there. So she started getting the urge to move. So we decided, well, she decided that she wanted to move there, and both of them decided that it was best that I go with them. Well, not with them. They decided that it was best that I go with my mom. But the thing is, me going there, I didn't have the option to go to public school because Florida's school system, especially in Jacksonville, oh my God, like, it's just not it. Hate to say it, but it's not it. And my daddy and my parents didn't like it. Back then I didn't understand it. But now I definitely do. However, I definitely did not want to go to the Christian private school that they sent me to. And I just felt like they were trying to ruin my life. Like, they claimed it had nothing to do with me being gay. Please stop. They claimed it had nothing to do with me being gay, but I felt like it had everything to do with me being gay. Like, because now that Charity likes girls, now we're gonna move to Jacksonville, and now she's gonna go to this little Christian private school. Now she is. How convenient. Like, that's how I looked at it. So that's what I had to do, and it was a very awful experience. Like, I did not want to be there. I honestly got worse. I'm naturally rebellious because, like I said, I just like to live my life in a way that's very true to who I am. Not in a reckless way. Back then it was reckless because I was a kid, and obviously when you're a child, you don't know no better. You don't know no better. You don't know what's best for you, and you just out doing stuff and probably putting yourself in harm's way without even knowing it. But I didn't like to be told no, really. That's just what it was. And so, being that I'm going through all of this, I don't have a social life, I don't have nothing to do, nothing to look forward to, and now on top of that, you're sending me off to this school that has like all of 15 students in it, where I'm coming from this big public school, you know. And then on top of that, I have to wear uniforms every single day. And it's a lot more conservative because I used to color my hair a lot. Well, my mom used to color my hair a lot. They didn't like for me to color my hair. I had, you know, this side of my head shaved off. They didn't like that. They would ask me to cover it. So I had to like part my hair a certain way to get my hair to fall on this side to cover where I had it shaved off. I'm like, go to hell. Like, that's so wacko to me. I didn't like any of it. But honestly, I got there and I got a whole lot worse. My attitude got very nasty, especially towards my mom, because I just was going through it. And then, you know, like I said, when I was a freshman, my sister was a senior, so she had graduated. And so I didn't even have her there, and I just felt like I didn't have anybody. Like, I had to move and be without my sister, somebody who I could at least lean on through that time. She was off in college, and while I'm in a whole new city and state where, yes, it's up the street, but I still didn't know anybody. I didn't have any friends. And so going to that school, I stuck out like a sore thumb. Like I said, it was a very, very small school, very small. And so I didn't like it. But I was very wild there. I did not, like I said, I didn't listen. And I definitely ended up getting me a whole new girlfriend. Like, what you thought this was? Like, like I said, still gay. Like, what are you gonna do? Life was going on, baby, with or without you. Like, that's really what it was. I definitely ended up getting me a new girlfriend, and I definitely didn't care. You know, did I stay in trouble at a school? Absolutely. Did I care? No. Because I didn't want to be there. For one, I did not want to be there. That's what people, they understand. And then the Christians there were worse. Oh my gosh. Like, I have this dude constantly calling me a demon. I'm like, ew. The whole experience was just so awful. However, I made friends there quickly. Like, the friends that I made there, I really, really loved them. They turned into friends that I still communicate with to this day, like over the friends that I grew up with in Camden. The friends that I made in Jacksonville turned out to be like people who are actually still in my life to this day, and that's what I really appreciate. You know, we don't talk every day and at all, but there are a few of them, only like a couple, like they're like 3, honestly, that, you know, we are consistent when it comes to like checking up on each other and just catching up overall. You know, I think I'm gonna leave the story there though, because like my experience in Jacksonville, Florida, living there, my experience is something completely different than my experience in Camden. So I may just leave that for a whole nother video. But yeah, like I said, got me a whole new girlfriend. And the thing is, our parents still didn't like for us to be together. So we used to get in trouble together at that school, like together, because we were honestly very reckless and didn't care. But I will save that topic for another day because I am done with my face makeup. I'm just about to pop on some lashes and leave it where it's at, honestly. But so far, I hope y'all really are enjoying it. You know, I don't do story times often. I want to do more because it's not a lot that I like to discuss about myself publicly. Why not? This is my first real video being back on my channel anyway, so why not kick off the new year? It is February 2nd. You know, it is Black History Month. Shout out to my Black beautiful people. Shout out to the baddest and the best to ever do it. Yeah, that's it. I'm trying to figure out if there's any other key bit that I'm honestly leaving out. As y'all know, I'm still very much attracted to women. Like, that's not anything that's changing or going anywhere. So, oh, what I will say is, dang, sorry. Me and my parents are in a much better space when it comes to my sexuality. They accept me, and they are very much so open and accepting towards the LGBTQ plus community overall. So they have grown with that, and I'm so proud and happy about that because see how you do. Obviously it wouldn't have made any of this easier over time. Not for me. I wouldn't say for me, not for our relationship going forward. They are nowhere near how they used to be. Very open, very accepting, very understanding, and very loving. And you know, I can talk to my mom now about my relationships with women. Like, she know the women that I'm dealing with. She know when I'm dealing with one because I don't mind telling her. Me and my daddy, you know, the only thing he'll know is when I have a lady. That's it. Like, we're not the whole let's talk about relationships type. Never happened. But we are all very close. Times have changed. Times have evolved. We have all evolved. So everything is great this way. So I'm just happy and grateful for that, if anything, that we could all grow together instead of apart. So yeah. All right, y'all. So I ain't got change, you know what I'm saying? You see the love. I want to put on my rainbow earrings, you know, show my teen spirit. But yes, I hope y'all enjoy. Sorry, I was eating. I don't know what's funny. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video, and I hope y'all enjoyed this story, really. I do hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to comment down below like I said, and let me know what you would like to see from me on my channel, and also let me know if you're interested in me, you know, talking more about this topic specifically and opening up a bit more about it. And then give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and then be sure to turn on your post notifications so you will be notified whenever I do upload. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.